Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how I take screenshots in my Sims 4 game using Nvidia Ansel. So before I get into show you what Ansel looks like in game, let me show you how you can get it in yours. Okay, so first off, in order to get Ansel working in your game, you have to have a Nvidia graphics card. And if you go to this website, which I will link in the description, you will need to download, make sure your drivers are up to date, and you'll need to download the GeForce Experience. If you're not sure if your graphics card qualifies, if you scroll all the way down, you can go under System Requirements. And here it's going to show you what you will need in order to run Ansel. And for those of you who are curious on how or why it's named Ansel, if you look up Ansel Adams, he's actually a very famous photographer for mainly known for landscape photography. And I'm just assuming this is where they got Nvidia Ansel from. So, okay. So let's go back into our game. I have everything paused right now. So there's actually quite a few features we can go over, and I definitely recommend that if you want to try this, the best way to learn is to just get in there and start playing around with the settings. Okay, so I want to say you want to take just like a simple landscape photo. So you'll hit, oh, there's my dog running. Let him run in the house and the door closes. Or it just stays open. Okay, anyway, we're going to go into the tab. So you have full control of your camera. Get a good angle, which this obviously is kind of a boring shot, but we're just using this for an example. And then in order to activate Ansel for the first time, you're going to hold down the Alt key and hit F2. This is what's going to bring up the overlay. Now, as you can see, some stuff has already changed because it remembers the filters that I had before. So I'm going to go ahead and delete those. And this is normally what you will see. So if you look up here, this is the type of capture you're going to be doing. And by default, it does go into screenshot, but if you click on this, you can have super resolution. Well, actually, no, super resolution does not work in The Sims. It does in other games. It just makes the details very more prominent, I guess you could say. But for The Sims, it just works in screenshot. And I've actually not taken it off a screenshot, or I would have known that. But anyway, and so it's default resolution, whatever your monitor is set as. You can pop on the grid if you want to line up things. You can't control the camera. Of course, that's just because of the game. Now let's go and talk about filters. So one of the filters that I like to add is the depth of field. And as you can see already, it's making this a lot more blurrier. And I think it is good for like when you're doing portraits. Let me exit out and let me go to my sim. Where are you at? Okay, so if you want to get like a really good like screenshot, I don't know why she looks so depressed. So focus it on your sim, and on the depth of field, you will have to click the invert depth key. I don't know why, it's just, this is the only game I have to do this with. And here, focus depth for me is set at 50%, but if I decrease that, see, everything becomes out of focus. But if you increase it, you can slowly start to see the range of where the blurriness starts and where it ends. So you have more control over that, in my opinion. The far blur curve, it just shows you like how much or how less. Near blur curve is just everything that's in focus. I can make it blurry if I wanted to. I usually keep that at 100%. And the blur radius just lets you know how much of the blurry in the background gets. So see, it gets less or more, and you have full control over that. So I usually do something about right like this, especially if I'm focusing on a character. And if you want to move your camera but still stay within photo mode, I found out that if you just click the screen once, you have access to the camera through Ansel. And it's a little bit more slower in some parts. And so if you just need to adjust your shot or get a different angle and not leave photo mode, you can do that. Okay, so I'm gonna get a little side angle, and I want to cover up that random person walking in the background. Okay, so we'll just say about right like there, just a little profile shot. And you can do other things. So we have depth of field set, you can do black and white, you can adjust the contrast, you can adjust the color. If you're wanting, especially if you're wanting to make thumbnails, it's super easy. Instead of going through and manually like cutting out your character, you can go into the green screen, and basically it just replaces the background with the green screen, and it acts as depth of field pretty much. So you can focus how much or how little you want. And then once you throw this into Photoshop, you could just use the magic eraser tool and just get rid of the green. And then there you'll have a transparent image. And I might do a separate tutorial on that later. Right now we're just talking about NVIDIA Ansel and photo mode and stuff like that. So and if you want to delete a filter, make sure you just select it and hit the little trash can and it goes away. I always like to add, like if you want a little bit more detail in your picture, and obviously this is way too much, it just comes in default that way. So you can play with these toggles and you can make your sim look like more smooth, more in detail. And then the HDR is what's bringing out like all these highlights. So I'm going to tone that down a bit, but you can get some really interesting shots just by playing around with some of these settings. So I'm just going to leave it like that. I just wanted it a little bit clearer. And then we have, you can do old film, painterly. Make your sim look like it's a painting. There's just so many options, and I don't want to go over each and every one and take up too much of your time. I just recommend getting in here and playing around and seeing which filters you like or which ones that you need for whatever picture you're looking to take. So, and I think that's it. And then if you have any questions, just drop a comment in below and I will answer them. Like I said, I've been using Ansel for, oh my gosh, since like 2015 in all my other games that I played, which it would work in. So I hope this tutorial was helpful, and thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye.